Good morning, listeners. Thank you for joining me. Before we get started, we have to do those YouTube things. Be sure to hit the like button on this video, that notification bell so that you know when I upload new videos. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss when I upload new surprise uploads. I do hope you all enjoyed that one from last week. And what did you think about hiding in hip hop? Please make sure y'all leave comments. Let me know what you think. But without further ado, we will continue on in the Vixen Diaries with chapter 25, Sweetest Taboo. I continued to work my way around the Black Enterprise Party, stopping to chat with business moguls Andre Harrell and Russell Simmons. I sat down with Andre and Russell for a few minutes to rest my aching feet and catch up briefly with the man who planted the seeds for my first book. As the story goes, it was Andre who recommended I turn my life story into a book. And though I felt at the time that the idea was too big, every time I saw Andre, he would say just 3 simple words: write the book. And that I did. Whenever I see Andre, I never miss an opportunity to thank him for the advice, and this night was no different. He allowed me to feel confident in making the decision, which, though it would uncover topics that have been taboo for me and for many people in my demographic, would serve a greater purpose than either of us ever realized. Andre turned to Russell and said, "Hey, Russ, I gave this girl the idea and she ran with it." "Yeah, I know," Russell replied. And he turned and looked at me and said, "I need to be in business with you." When a man as accomplished as Russell Simmons says something like that to someone like me, a woman who has built her fortune from the ground up while looking to people like Russell and Andre for direction, it means the world. At that moment, I felt accepted and accomplished, moved and motivated. It is moments like this that make it easier for me to ignore naysayers, because the people who really matter to me, the movers, the shakers, and history makers, acknowledge, encourage, and even create my success. To them, neither I nor my book are taboo. They are just good business and marketing sense. As I glided through a crowd of A-list celebrities and top business persons, stopping along the way to chat, exchange business cards, and take pictures, I knew that I belonged there. Funny, but all of a sudden, whatever had been going on between Antonio and me seemed far away. It seemed as if Mr. and Mrs. Antonio Tarver walked around the room once and left. We crossed each other's paths just once, and we all acted as if we didn't know that for the past 2 months we had shared intimate lives. But now, as I watched Antonio and his wife walk past me, I was satisfied knowing that I was done with him. I wanted her to have him because I wanted better, and the next day I would have better. The following evening, Ebony Magazine held an event in honor of the Oscars and gave awards to Halle Berry, Janet Jackson, Forest Whitaker, who were in attendance. I floated around the room feeling free and alive again. With Antonio out of my life, there was nothing to worry about. The theme of the night and my life was now, why cry over spilled milk when there's a cow in the backyard? I was a new woman, eager to date for fun and not for lifetime companionship. The pressure was off, and I was ready to submit to the fact that I was not just all right, but better alone. When I was becoming accustomed to the idea, I was introduced to him. To protect our privacy and relationship, I will call him Baby Boy. He is a beautiful and tall, with a smile that would melt any girl's heart, but he is young, very young. As we were being introduced in the midst of a crowded room, eyes on us, I was afraid to look at him. He had an air about himself that I couldn't comprehend. For someone so young, he carried himself like an experienced man throughout the night, stopping to make flirtatious comments here or there, flashing his boyish smile, and burning a hole through my false disinterest. I was smitten, and just the thought of it was taboo enough to keep me at bay. I decided not to pursue the young flirt, but baby boy noticed me when I noticed him, and while I wasn't looking, he asked a mutual friend of ours for my phone number. This young man had class and smarts, and by the end of the night, he had me. After dancing around each other for the last 2 hours of the event, we left at close to the same time, got in our cars, never saying goodbye. On the way home, I was anxiously checking my phone, anticipating his phone call and practicing what I would say to him. I particularly practiced the way I would remain calm at the sound of his voice and pretend not to know he had gotten my phone number from our friend. I was 15 minutes into my drive home and just seconds from my house when my phone rang and my caller ID showed an unfamiliar number. Baby boy was on the line. "Hello?" I answered as unenthusiastically as possible. "Corinne, it's baby boy." "Hey, what's up?" "This is my number, so make sure you save it in your phone." "Yeah, okay. But how the hell did you get my number?" "I have my ways." "So anyway, you have my number now, so call me anytime." Baby boy and I began our relationship quite innocently that night, which was no precursor to how passionate and incredibly fulfilling our union would become in the very near future. He and I kept in touch over the phone over the next several weeks, and despite our increasingly time-consuming work schedules and family responsibilities, we found it difficult to find time to see each other and vowed to take the very first chance we could, no matter how short our time together might be. The first chance came one night in late February 2007. Baby boy made his first trip to my home around 10 in the evening, and as he strolled up the walkway and toward my front door, my heart was pounding with both excitement and fear. Here was this beautiful young man with his entire life ahead of him, walking into the arms of a much older woman. We were living on the edge, and we knew it. There was something exhilarating about sneaking around with baby boy. I had whispered over the phone over the past several weeks so that people around us wouldn't hear. Now he was tiptoeing into my home, being careful not to be seen by my neighbors. And though this isn't the first time I've been with a young man younger than me, such as Ray J, the age difference between baby boy and me is much greater. He wandered through my home around the backyard, taking the grand tour. The last stop on the mini excursion was my bedroom, including its newly remodeled bathroom. Just as I was showing off my slate glass enclosed shower with double shower heads, baby boy grabbed me from behind, pulled my sweats down to my knees, bent me over, and as he put it, gave me the business. I melted with sexual pleasure. I was in shock and ecstasy while simultaneously feeling guilty, wanting more and wanting him to stop all at the same time. I disconnected my body from his for a moment and stared us toward my bed, confused. "We can't do this," I half-heartedly protested. "Yes, we can." "No." "Yes." He planted his lips on mine, and his sweet kiss extinguished my fight as I lay on my back, inviting him to mount me, to make love to me, to make it impossible for me to do without him from this night forward. Slow and sensual, he moved inside me. Then I rolled on top of him, surprised by his size, unwilling and unable to handle it all. Our eyes were locked and fixed on each other as we explored each other's bodies and needs. I felt him, and he felt me, and then it was over. His work schedule didn't permit him to stay long, and no matter how badly we wanted to continue, we couldn't. But we made plans to save the rest for later. Once he left, I sat in my room, wrapped in my rumpled sheets, smelling his cologne on my skin and the scent of the love we made between my legs. The taste of his kiss lingered on my lips, and the memory of our first sexual encounter would remain fresh in my mind from this day forth. Baby boy was mine now, as was the secret of our forbidden relationship. Over the next several months, he and I would spend night after night together, making love, talking, laughing, and getting to know each other slowly. We found ourselves on opposite sides of the country and even the world as our work and obligations took us in opposite directions. However, no matter where we are in the world, no matter the space and time between us, we always manage to reconnect and take our relationship just one step further. Each encounter we have breaks down walls, and he finds himself doing things he's never done before, allowing himself to be sexually free and comfortable with me. Though I am completely enthralled with our relationship in the back of my mind, I am often aware of our sizable age difference between us, which is both a danger and a thrill. There is no doubt that I shiver with the excitement of sneaking around in the middle of the night, keeping our forbidden love a secret. It's not the age difference that makes our relationship so taboo, but we know that if his family, friends, and colleagues thought he was seeing me, the much experienced, controversial author, they would lock him up and throw away the key. I would be seen as a predator lurking over the young, handsome luminary, and the rest of the world would condemn our relationship before it ever had a chance to develop. Baby boy and I continued to sneak around, sharing each other whenever and wherever we can. Contrary to what most of the people interested in my life believe, my life is filled with hundreds of secrets, most of which I will never reveal. Baby boy is one, and he just may be the sweetest taboo yet. But my relationship with baby boy is not the only thing in my life that is forbidden. In fact, my entire lifestyle may be. After years outside the music industry, somehow I found myself right back in. I spent many years of long nights in smoky studios and trips on the road in a tour bus, backstage at concerts and hotel rooms, state to state. There is something about this life that draws me to it when I am in search of myself. All of a sudden, quiet dinners at the Four Seasons and spa days just aren't enough anymore. I want to taste the hip-hop life again and live on the wild side a bit, but do it smarter than I had before. There is a definite difference in me now, 13 years after I started mingling in the inner circles of sports and entertainment. I am wiser and more seasoned. I know the game and what it takes to be respected. I know when to show up and when to leave. I know how to use my intellect and not my body. These days, I walk into a room as Corinne Steffens, mother, New York Times best-selling author, entrepreneur, and woman to be reckoned with. I walk in with my head held high and without my hand out. I need nothing from anyone. Now, as I sit in the recording studio late in the night, it's for the music, the feeling that hip-hop gives me. Hip-hop understands me in a mystical way, the pain that I am in and the dreams that drive me. Its rhythms and bass lines beat along with my heart, give me the tempo in which to move through life. Now, when I spend late nights in hotel rooms with friends in the industry, it's for the sanity of being around creative people who also feel different from the rest of the world. It's for the laughter, the memories that I enjoy, and those late nights at clubs and stumbling out of them in the early mornings. This lifestyle offers me relief from my everyday existence and stimulates my senses. It strengthens my writing and introspections. And besides all that, it's just plain fun. I told myself years ago that I would never step foot back into this world, but maybe it's such a part of who I am that I can never be completely free from it. What I am free from is that naive and neediness that led me to promiscuous, drug-induced lifestyle of my past. I made hip-hop taboo for myself, thinking initially that it was the lifestyle that brought me down. And even though it is a treacherous terrain, I am better equipped now to travel through it and make it out on the other side all right. Or so I hope. Well, that's the end of that chapter. If you have enjoyed it this far, please be sure to hit the like button on your way out, the notification bell so that you know when I upload new videos. And like I said, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, please do. So many of you are not subscribed, and I could get to that 500 mark and we could continue on in the hiding in hip hop if we get there. So hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. Until next time. And it looks like we have one final chapter left in Vixen Diaries, and I will upload that next. Thank you so much.